Greetings, Earthlings! My name is Zero Jake, and welcome back to Space Engineers. So, last episode we were working on these LCD panels, which will show us our inventory, and also auto-sort our inventory into its proper cargo containers. Very, very useful. Better upgrade than the system that we had that no longer worked. Yeah, but that's not all it can do. Today we're going to be doing the other half of what we need to do in order to get this system up and running, which is we're going to make it automatically produce any components that we are short of. You can tell that fun things are going to happen there. So, as you can see, we've got a lot of different types of components, and the way that this is going to work is similar to what it worked before. Also known as the one that I set up in Season 1, which no longer works because reasons. So what we want to do is we want to go, actually I want I just need to remember the names of some of them so I can demonstrate, but what we want to go is we want to go to shipyard, and then what we want to do, we want to show all hidden blocks, and we just want to look at assemblers. Yeah, just the advanced assemblers we have here. I don't know why you're exempt. You're no longer exempt. Have fun. So I've got, what, between 19 and 31, which is about 12. So I've got 12 advanced assemblers. Sadly, we have more components, but that's fine for now. So the way this is going to work is we go over here. I need to, god damn it, I need to do it all over again. So let's select our first one, okay? Assembler 19, though it's not going to be called 19 anymore. It's going to be called Tim, and then a name, and this is a name of a component. So let's go for something that we're low on: construction. I can see in the on the left hand side that I can see what the names of each component is, because it's not the names that you see in your inventory, it's the names in the code that actually matter. So if we do this and then we attempt to turn it off, it should turn on again automatically. I did nothing to do anything, it just happened. Now why is this working? Well, as you'll see in a second, if I turn this off, it should remain off. Good, right. So what we want to do is we want to go over to production. It says production, and then we want to go and find Tim component. Yes. And what we want to do here is we want to set up a continuous loop of construction components. Yeah, so let's say, I don't know, you're on disassemble. Why are you on disassemble? What's wrong with you? Let's go over to here. What's that? Cooperative mode. No, we don't want cooperative mode. We want repeat mode. And what we want to do is we want to say, hey, produce us some construction components for us, would ya? So it will do that once I turn it on, and it will continue creating construction components. Okay? Once I turn it on, infinite amount. But that's where the fun stuff happens. So I'll close this tag, and it should automatically turn on. And then we'll go back to production and see it work. He says it'll automatically turn on. There we go, automatically on. Good. Right, let's go over to production, and we can see we have our lovely construction components being made. However, they are being made quite fast, and since I want this to be continuous, I'll go up to 600 per chunk so that everything can work properly. And as you can see, tons and tons of construction components, and they're being built. And if we exit the screen, we can go over to this panel, and we can see that there is currently one assembler in the ASM section, so one assembler is working on construction, and it is increasing the amount that we have. Excellent. This is how we're going to increase the amount of stuff we have, just by doing this. And since we don't have, I forgot the name, but since there are more different types of construction, different components than we have assemblers, we may need to add more assemblers, or we may need to build that carrier a lot quicker, or shipyard Mark II. I might not build the carrier yet. I might build the carrier later as kind of a big build once, you know, Space Engineers either becomes more optimized, or I have a better computer, since currently running at 30 frames per second with only a few ships. It's not going to work when I build a carrier. The carrier that we've got planned is like the same size as the Scarab, the station that we built in Season 1. It's ridiculous, and that station just kills everything. But anyway, yes, so I've got Lovely, lovely construction components being made at a decent rate. It's faster than I'll consume them at any rate. So, other things that we need, and something that probably won't be affected for a very, very long time, is steel plate. We need one for steel plate. Steel plate is needed. So what we want to do is we want to select number 20, or one of the number 20s rather, and we want to go Tim steel plate. Then that, if I turn it off, should turn back on. Oh no, it shouldn't turn back on, right? So I'll have no way to test it. Right. Well, what I can do is I can temporarily increase the quota. So we can go over to here. Now I can go here and increase quota. If I do that, then steel plate should be like that. You should say you have one assembler. And if I have a look at, if I go, no, I don't want to press T on. I'll press K. Go to steel plate. We should see it's turned on. I turn it off. It turns on again. Good, right, that works. I'm going to get rid of that extra 0 because we do not need 1.5 million steel plate. Wrong button. Wrong button. We do not need 1.5 million steel plate. Oh, we're fine with 150,000. Anyway, so now that works. All we need to do now is go into production, blah, 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 blah. That's the wrong one. Steel plate. Steel. We do not need this. How many times have I said this? A lot. And then we just want to say, hey, but no, god damn it. Yeah, there's something I need to do, and that is, yo, nanite factories, stop doing this. It would be very nice if you did. Thank you. And now if I go into here, no, if I press K instead, I should go to production. Get rid of that, we don't need it. Get rid of this, we don't need it. Because when I just get more silver into the system, it's just going to take it away. No, platinum, yes. Because I'm going to need to go mining and get some more platinum. So we need to clear all of these out. Because apparently I did not understand how many, well, some people did not understand how many times this will annoy me. Which is why we've got so many components right now. More than I actually need for quite a while. But this is future-proofing, as usual. The next one's fine. We can get rid of you. We can get rid of you. Are you doing things stupidly? That's steel plate. Okay, we haven't set that up yet. Good. You've got nothing in. You've got that in, which is pausing your production. You've got this. You've got this. Oh my god. Yeah, so the previous system basically balked everything because nothing was being produced. I didn't have any platinum, and therefore yeah, the system hated me. But anyway, we've got this. I can say, hey, produce me like a bazillion steel plate, please. Probably say 1,000, and then that will create 1,000 when it's turned on, and then if it's turned off, then you know, that's fine. So I've got steel plate. What else do we have? Well, what else do we use in a very, very high amount of frequency? Well, we have superconductors, which honestly is a long word. Not too long enough for me, though. You know, if I can spell it correctly. Hope that's spelled correctly. Are you gonna off? Are you gonna turn on? Yes, you are. Good. Production, go over to superconductor, and then I want you to create superconductors. There we go. You'll do the thing. You know, if we had the thing required. Apparently we do not. Oh yeah, that's because we don't have any assemblers working on steel plate because it's empty. Yes, that works. Yes, it does. Okay, good. Right. So I got that. We also use a lot of thrusters. So let's get those. Yeah, thrusters wherever they are. Whoever knows. Over to you, Tim. Is it thruster or is it thrust? It's thrust. Damn. There we go. That's you. Production. Go. Thruster. And then we'll give you thruster components wherever they are. Here. Good. So when we're short on thruster components, we will now gain thruster components. When we're short on superconductors, we'll gain superconductors. Steel plate, blah 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 blah. Right, we need small tube next. So let's go over. No. Tim first. Tim. Small tube. Even though I don't need to capitalize it properly, you should then turn on, and then I should. Oh, hang on. If I go over to superconductor, I haven't done the enable repeat mode, which is why it's not working. So yeah, do that, make sure it works, and then that should be small. Good, right. And then we want small steel tube. There we go. Get like 500 of that. That should start producing. Good, right. So what we need to make sure is that we can have enough materials in the system so that this thing can produce constantly. As you can see, small steel tube is going up, which is useful. Next thing we want is motors. Motors. Is it motor? Yes, it's motor. Okay. Let's go over to production. Motor, wherever that is, so it's up here. Motor, repeat mode, and 500. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this for the next, I don't know, hour. I jest. And I'll be back in a second once I have set as many of these up as possible. Okay, so this may be somewhat of a long story. So I was, doing things over in the shipyard, getting things ready, so that labeling things, making sure they're working. I was like, oh, I should probably go mining so I can get some platinum. So I decided to go into our lovely mining ship and search for platinum. What happened was I jumped away about 20 kilometers, and then as soon as I exited, I was being bumped around all over the place and the shields were going down very quickly. This, I reasoned, was because something had been destroyed that was part of the ship from somewhere over here, though I can't really see it, and decided to start destroying everything. Now, I don't know what it was. It doesn't seem to have, it doesn't seem to have disappeared. I was trying to do things. Yeah, so essentially I panicked. Thinking that, this would be a terrible shame if I lost this ship, because I don't remember if I blueprinted it. I went into lovely creative mode and cut the ship. As in, it made a copy but delete it. And then what happened was I died to something. I believe it was the thing that was, going around everywhere. And then I respawned on the planet. Yes, that's right. On the planet. That one. Over there. 230 kilometers away. I was kind of confused why it was there, because it said medical room, which is interesting, so we're going to have to check that out. And probably retrieve some stuff that I spawned with. But yeah. And through that entire debacle, I actually lost the location of where I dropped all my stuff. So we no longer have... My god, I wish they would keep the noise down. We no longer have our lovely collector. Our collector is gone. Well, I could easily paste it back in, I guess. But no. It's much more fun if we have to rebuild it. Oh, we don't have him. Do we have? Yeah, we do have thruster components, so we should be able to. Yes. Yes. So what I was going to do, is demonstrate how. Well, we also need shield generator components, which is why I was going out mining so that I could get some platinum so that we could build some. But instead of doing that, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to break one of them. Oh, I don't have a grinder, do I? I'll talk to them later. But anyway, what we've got here... Yeah, you can definitely hear them. I can hear it. Well, I can see it through Bandicam, but never mind. So what we want is we want grinder, weapon tools. No, we want character tools, and then we want grinder. Bloody regular grinder is going to take ages. No, it's not. Okay, right. I have the components I need, so that's fine. That can be replaced because it will be. So if we fly out here, I'm going to fly over to here. What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to quickly disable the nanite factories before we do anything, because otherwise that's going to annoy me. Nanite factories, shush. Shush your face, all of you. Oh, right, that worked. And then what we want to do is we want to input this into an inventory. Luckily we have... this is a cargo. Is it a cargo? Yeah, it is cargo. Okay. So what we want to do... Oh, I've got a replacement. Why have I got replacements in here? It's from the many times that I've died. Yes, that makes sense. So that's fine. If we put shield component into here, yeah, it should now turn up here. He says. Yeah, shield. Look, shield. Added. It's spectacular. So if we go into here, we can add our own, you know, things. So let's say, let's go for about 1,000. Yeah. So if I say 1,000, that will equal out. That will say, hey, we've got no shields whatsoever. So what we can do is we can go into here. We can go here. That's basically to learn the name of it, really. Tim shield, and then we can go over to that one. Oh, it's this one. Huh, nice. And then we can go over and generate our shield component thing, wherever that is, here. So there we go. Once we have platinum, which I am not going to cheat to demonstrate it because that's cheating, for obvious reasons. Once we have our platinum, it will auto build shield generator components. Which is very nice. And now we can turn the nano factories back on, because I only needed them off temporarily. And now they should use that shield, the components that I have to rebuild that, unless it's not got a thing on it. Oh yeah, the mining ship doesn't have an antenna. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to add that. But yeah, so we've got that automated, which is nice. And then the other thing that we want automated is the refineries. That's no, what? You saying there are no? We have no refineries here. No, of course we don't have refineries, you stupid person. We got rid of them. The refineries down there. Oh yeah, the refineries in the mining ship, obviously. Stupid me. But yes, so now we've automated construction of components. Not automate construction components, we've automated the construction of other components, including construction components, but not just that, if that makes sense. Which it might not, who cares. So yeah, this is also known as the final episode of this season, since we are going to start working on a new project. Since we've got the fleet up and running, we can add more ships later, but next season we're heading down to the planet. Ooh, the planet. So yeah, and also the way that I'm going to be doing videos is going to change slightly. So season 3, instead of just being episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, blah 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 blah, it's still going to be like that. Yeah, it's same structure, different naming. So instead of where it says episode whatever, it will then say what we're working on. So for example, mining outpost, and then the episode and then the it's really hard to explain. So basically we have the project that we're working on. For example, recently we had gunship or mining ship or mobile refinery, thing like that. And then we'll have the episode number of doing that project. So when we're doing mining, when we were doing the mobile refinery, it will be like refinery chassis, mobile refinery #1, and then mobile refinery #2, continue like that until we're done. That's basically how season 3 is going to work, because it's going to be much easier with this, since we're building a lot of disconnected things that are part of a whole, and that whole is the project for each season. So for the first season it was, you know, whatever, getting the Scarab up and running. The second was building a fleet, which is this one. Yeah, we've done that. So episode 40 finished. I think it's episode 40, isn't it? Yes, it is. Maybe. Oh my god, I wish they would stop. I want to kill my neighbours. Don't take that literally. That's just a figure of speech. They have very poor taste in music. Anyway, yeah, so season 3 is going to be planetary operations, either on the moon or on the Terran planet. Maybe we'll go to Mars. I don't know. I may save that for later. But yeah, If you have any ideas on any ships that I still might want to add to the fleet, you are completely fine to throw these suggestions at me with a orbital bombardment cannon. If you've got any suggestions for ground vehicles or aircraft or base things, then feel free to send those as well in the comments section or via a message or via discussion on my channel page, because there is that area, you know, like only like one person's used it. But anyway, yeah, so until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.